Hey guys. Guess I could share this out. Hey CL, how you doing, buddy? Sorry, I was just sharing it out to everybody. So yeah, we always know Tampa Bay's going to do something. They always say, "Oh, we don't have any room. We're probably not going to do anything," but they do. They always do. And I don't know about you, but I mean, I haven't really looked deep in that trade for Hagel. You do know that Hagel got traded, right? Just making sure you know. Uh, but like first glance, if I'm Chicago, I'm not making that deal. Unless Hagel really wanted out or something. I don't know, but they got like, well, they don't have it in cap friendly yet. But Kachuk, I don't know. Those guys, what was the trade exactly again? I'm going to be doing Kachuk and Taylor Radish in a 2023 first round pick. Okay, I didn't see that. Okay, I do that deal. Oh my gosh. I didn't realize I got 2 first round picks. Wow. And exchange for a fourth. Okay. Yeah, okay, you do that deal. Sorry. I didn't realize I got all that. Holy crap. Kachuk, Radish, and a 2023 first. I thought it was a 2022 first. But 2023 is going to be like a super deep draft. So that, yeah, you got to do that. 2023 and 24. That's a lot, man. That is a lot. 2023 is supposed to be one of the deepest drafts we've seen in a long time. Hey, Rickett, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, okay. I didn't realize they got all that. A 2023 and 2024 first, plus Kachuk and Radish. Kachuk and Radish, whatever. They're like fourth liners, pretty much. You know, they'll probably be journeymen, but they're young journeymen, so they fill a spot right now. But that 2023 draft is going to be off the charts, man. So that changes things. And 2024. The rebuild is on, and the rebuild is on for Chicago. Now the question will be, of course, does Kane and Taves go here now too? Because what's Tampa? I mean, don't get me wrong, Hagel is a great piece for Tampa, but that's a very expensive. That's a very expensive ad. They were trying to, basically replace Coleman. Wow. All in for Tampa Bay. All in for Tampa Bay for sure. And I didn't realize Chicago got 2 first-round picks out of that. Anyways, now the big thing is Lindholm, and I'm going to be doing a Lindholm trade video right after this live, actually. I'm going to go right into the Lindholm trade video. I've got a couple places that he will likely go. I think he's gone. I think Anaheim finally made the right decision in trading Manson and Lindholm and getting this rebuild to where it needs to be. So good. It's going to be a good move. I'm not going to say where he's going to go. You're going to have to watch the video. But let's see what this does. Do they have it for Tampa Bay now? I don't know if Cap Friendly will have this already in there for Tampa Bay. No. Anyways, you can figure it out. He's going to slot. Wow. I mean, he's going to slot. Can he play center? Where the heck is he? I can't find him anywhere. I can't find him on the Chicago board. Let me look at it here. (2023, 2024). And he's only making 1.5 for the next couple of years. I wanted to know if he can play center, because that's really what they would need, if anything, right now. It says they're likely to be willing to trade just about anybody on their roster for the right price. And he's not even an unrestricted free agent. He's a restricted free agent at the end of this deal. So, yeah, Tkachuk and Radish were both second-round picks. But I wouldn't put them at second-round pick caliber as of right now. And unfortunately, I'd love to give you the numbers on them. But they've taken them off the boards of Tampa and Chicago and haven't put them on in their places yet. But basically, Tkachuk and Radish, I don't know. They have they do good things. They're like tweener, third, fourth line guys, from what I can tell. I don't really see a lot of upside more than that. However, if you're getting a first in 2003 and 2024, I'd say you're doing pretty darn good. That 2023 draft is going to be stacked. It's going to be pretty difficult to wrestle any 2023 picks away from teams. And getting a 2023 pick there, that's pretty solid. Nobody. I got nobody watching. As far as, okay, so anyways, I say Chicago sort of wins the deal. Um, I guess it's a good deal for both. Tampa Bay doesn't really care about tomorrow now, I don't think, right? So, uh, I mean, it gives. He's a playoff type guy. He's only making 1.5 for the next couple of years, so he's going to fit. And not only that, they'll recoup that first round pick because Killorn or uh, you know, Killorn or somebody like that is going to be traded in the offseason for a pick. I would imagine now for sure. Like they're going to need to get cap space, so they can recoup a pick. I don't know. They getting a 2023 pick is going to be next to impossible, but they might be able to recoup another get another first this year for like a guy like Killorn, who Hagel is very Killorn-like, and I think he plays left wing. I wish they would put him up in the depth chart here. I can't remember if he's a righty or a lefty. I can't remember. But anyways, if he's a righty, maybe they consider Anthony Cirelli as a trading piece where they could get a couple picks in the offseason for him and recoup those picks back. Hagel comes in cheaper, so they get under the cap. It's a good move for both sides. I think that's a lot of value for Hagel, who is as solid as he is. That 2023 draft is so good that there's a really good chance you're going to get at least a Hagel level player at that late pick. And then the 2024 draft, Clyde Frog, how are you doing? Is that a name you just made up, or are you new to here, buddy? We're talking about the trade deadline right now. Also, we'll talk about picks for tonight if you want. But right now, we're talking about the trade deadline as well. What are you liking in the trade deadline? Did you like that Chicago deal? If you're that, what's your team, Clyde? What's your team, and what do you think they're going to do? Comment in the anyways. Comment in the what's your team and what do you think they're going to do? But if I'm Kane and Taze right now, I'm waiting for that conversation from upper management to sit down and really let's figure out where we're going here. Do you really want? I mean, this is going to be a deep rebuild. I'm positive of it now. The Davidson had basically, I think that's his name. Please forgive me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I mean, Seattle wants a first round pick for Giordano. Look at what's going out there. It's a seller's market right now. If you're not going to drop your first round pick, you're not getting much. Look what Chicago just got for Hagel, Weichel. Yeah, that was freaking insane. I like Canes today. Boston with no Bergeron. Allmark in net. I'm not a big Allmark guy. I'm probably off that game. I was considering Winnipeg plus 1.5 with in a 2-pick parlay or something like that, but they're just missing too many players. They're going to play Studnik up on the top line with I guess there's one thing is there's another guy there that's in the trade deadline And that's something that I haven't been paying enough attention to this year. It really ticked me off. Is there's a lot of tension in rooms right now because of the trade deadline, whether you're going to get somebody good or not. I did say Chicago should keep Brendan Hagel, but I didn't realize they got a 2003 first round pick for him and a 2004 first round pick for him. No, I don't think they should have kept Brendan Hagel. Brendan Hagel was obviously going to be wrestled from Chicago, and Tampa wrestled him. I would have to have made that deal. I would have had to have made that deal for sure. No doubt about it. I love Brendan Hagel, but those 2023 picks are going to be hard to come by. That is going to be that is expected to be one heck of a deep draft. So there's a very good chance you could get a Hagel caliber player there. But so you're all over Boston. It doesn't scare you at all that there's no Bergeron. Like, by the way, I'm going to be doing a Lindholm traded to everybody, traded to 5 teams video right after I do this. So you'll be getting that this weekend. It doesn't bother you at all that Bergeron is out, and they're going to be putting Studnicka up on the top line, which hasn't really been successful for them. Although, you know, I could see it going either way. I could see a draw, actually. I could see a draw. Yeah, Studnicka, who's got 2 assists in 10 games. And that's with DeBrusk and Marchand. And then Taylor Hall, Pasternak. And Allmark, who hasn't really been lighting it up this year as well. And Winnipeg desperate for a win. So, at home, make sure you're tapping that like button, everybody. Let's get as many people in here as we can get. Mark Brown, how you doing? Yeah, I like the Sens too because, I mean, this is just a tough spot for Philadelphia. Boston's played 3 games in 4 nights. Winnipeg, if Winnipeg doesn't win this game, like, they should be ashamed of themselves, actually. Winnipeg should be ashamed of themselves if they don't win this game. But the problem is, I can see them being ashamed of themselves. I can see them doing it because they've lost games like this so much. Yeah, they just smashed the Knights. Yeah, I think the more I think about it, the more I think I got the Jets in this one. I think they might come through on this one. But the Senators, I for sure understand because even though they got a lot of guys out, Shabbat and Stützle, which hurts, it's just really hard for Philadelphia to get up for that game. I wouldn't even doubt if they had a hard time sleeping last night, like after having that big emotional, Giroux's gone and all that stuff like that. I think Philadelphia's legs are going to be pretty heavy. It's a sad day. Let's face it. It was a fun day last night. You got Giroux. You played for Giroux last night, but you still play for Giroux today. I know, Yo is going to be trying to sell this. Like, let's not let Giroux down today either, right? But I think it's going to be a hard sell. And I'm with you on that. I think I like Ottawa. And not only that, you got Jones in net. So, I mean, Jones had a good game his last outing. It wasn't bad, but overall, you just can't trust him. So, and in that emotional spot where, the players are going to probably be pretty dejected. And let's not forget, Ottawa doesn't usually back down in any games at all. So at the very least, and I'm probably going to put this one in, Ottawa first period. Ottawa first period seems like a really good, probably the best, because Ottawa's going to come out flying first period. They play for pride all the time. That's what I love about Ottawa. When Ottawa is good, when Ottawa gets all the players that they need and they get all the talent they need and these guys grow into being top-notch talent, I'm going to love them as far as being a professional handicapper, because there is probably no better team in the league that wins in bad spots. Like, I'm going to love that team. Yeah. Whitechill, I don't think Fleury's going anywhere. I really don't think. I don't think Fleury's going everywhere. Mark Brown. So what did you think about the trade, Mark Brown? Chicago Blackhawks trade Hagel for a 2003 first, a 2004 first, and I don't know why I cannot remember the names to save my life right now. Kachuk and the other guy. And the other guy. Radish, Tyler Radish. Kachuk and Radish, what did you think about it? I thought Chicago did well. I mean, Hagel's hard to give up. He is a guy that's going to be, looks like a playoff performer. I understand it for Tampa, but I'm sure they winced while they did it. Hey, Lauren, how you doing, buddy? I'm sure they winced while they do it. Yeah, I mean, they may win it down the road, but I do think they got a lot for Hagel, for sure. There's no Whitechill. I don't know how many times I got to tell you that. There's no goaltenders out there for Toronto. You're screwed, buddy. You're screwed. There's no goaltenders out there for Toronto. Unless you can get Fleury, forget about it. One more losing year for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Or if Campbell can get on a run or whatever. I think Hagel got 2 firsts, and one of them was a 2023 Hajin. 2023. All in. I love Brandon Hagel, and I just saw a post from Off the Wall John. He basically said, I don't care what they give up, Brendan Hagel. Like, he just loves Brendan Hagel. He's a playoff performer. He's basically like getting Coleman back. Yeah, they'll get a goaltender in the summer, maybe. I don't know. It's any organization who pins their hopes on somebody like Campbell when they're trying to win now, they deserve it. They deserve to lose. And any organization, my organization that I go, that pass on elite prospect goaltenders like the Edmonton Oilers did, a few other teams I can think of, that when they're available and they buy into this goaltenders are easy to find crap, you deserve to lose. My team, the Edmonton Oilers, deserve to lose. When they passed on elite goaltenders over and over, because we don't draft goaltenders in the first round. Well, good. Look where you are now, you stupid idiots. Sorry. I'm sorry. That's ridiculous. It's the most important position that there is, and you're going to pin your hopes on finding one in the late rounds over and over and over again. You know, the great goaltenders were almost always first or second round. You take goaltenders that are considered to be elite. Do they sometimes not make it? Yes. But when they hit, you are golden. When you get a Shesterkin, when you get a Vasilevsky, when you get a Swayman, when you get these guys in the first and second round, I might be wrong about Swayman, but when you pull these guys out, you make yourself a contender for a long time. And the teams that fade on goaltenders and basically don't put it as a high priority, they don't win cups. You're not going to win cups. Yeah, you think that kid's going to hold up like that, dude? I doubt it. He has poor AHL numbers, average AHL numbers. I mean, even if he does, like how many times do we see these goaltenders that come out late? Like these late blooming young goaltenders, they fade out. Murray, Binnington now, the St. Louis Blues have Binnington on the trade block right now. Oh, Stützle is in tonight? Hit Ottawa all night then for sure. I like Ottawa for sure. Yeah, I like Ottawa. I might even put a little more on that. It's just going to be a really tough game for Philadelphia. If they win, they win. But, I mean, if you're a professional handicapper, those spots, you got to take them. That's just such a bad spot for Philadelphia. Basically, any team, Philadelphia versus X team in that spot, you take the X. Any other team in the league right now. Nick Paul's a healthy scratch. Okay, they're going to find a home for Nick Paul. That seems like a New York Rangers play. It could be a lot of places. Nick Paul can help out a lot of teams, though. Any team that's small. Toronto, I could see Nick Paul going to Toronto, but I don't know if Ottawa is going to want to help them out there. Maybe some team out in the West. Edmonton. Maybe Edmonton. He could go to a lot of teams. I think it's going to be interesting. Like, it's obviously a seller's market right now. There's not too many teams out there that have anything. Now that people saw what you can get for Hagel, all of a sudden now there might be more on the market right now. Like, you might see some more players come out on the market if you're going to be able to pull that kind of package for a guy like Hagel. You could see like, well, it's situational, Hajin. As an actual like individual player, but I mean, how many times has Tampa Bay done this? They grabbed Gaudreau for a late first, if you remember correctly. I mean, as a player, probably that's an overpayment. They overpaid for Savard last year. They find their guy and they believe he's going to work to help them win a cup. If they win a cup, it made sense. As simple as that. But I wouldn't go that far. I don't think Olimat is that good. Olimat is older too. See, it's more than just the player there, Hajin. He's also on a $1.5 million contract for the next like 2 or 3 years. He's only 24, I want to say. I think it's 2 years. He's going to be still going to be a restricted free agent at the end of that contract. And he has offensive upside, and he's a great two-way player. So it's the whole package you got to really think about here. For a team like Tampa Bay that has no cap room, it probably is a really good pickup. It's situational. That's the reason why there's so much talk of Chychrun getting so much. They got a 4th-round pick. They got a 4th-round pick. But see, that's what happens when you're wrestling a guy from an organization that doesn't want to trade him. Chicago didn't want to trade Hagel. Yeah, that's the interesting thing about trades. It's not necessarily, sometimes it's not just about the player value for what he is. Hagel's a second, third line player, probably potch at 40 to 60 points. But he does all those things like Coleman did, who got $5.5 million from Calgary. He does all of those things. He does like a lot of the things that you don't see on the scoreboard. I'm pretty sure if Peyton was here and he looked up his analytics, he would look fantastic. But Chicago didn't want to trade him. They said straight out, we don't want to trade him. So they were going to have to wrestle him from Chicago, and they did. I mean, Chicago's like, we don't need to trade him. Chicago had all the leverage in the world. And where's Tampa Bay going to find a 1.5 million a year player that can play in their top 9, even top 6, be a support guy for their top 6, can put up 40 to 50 points, is a playoff type player that can fit under their cap? I mean, I don't see where there was any out there. I wouldn't doubt that they were in on Paul too, but Hagel's a better package than Paul is. So it's just a situational. The general manager for Chicago worked the situation really well, and he basically said we don't want to trade him. So if you want him from us, it's going to be a hefty package, and if you want to give it to us, we'll consider it. And he did, and that's what he did. And they couldn't take a guy like McCabe because they don't have the cap room, Gene. That's the problem. I think, yeah, they won't even be able to trade Killorn. They will. He's a free agent at the end of this year. So, and that's the other thing. Now Hagel is their new Killorn. Killorn will likely go, and they get Hagel to replace Killorn. So to them, it's huge. And I forgot about that too. Like Killorn's going to go on the open market. I don't, Killorn can get at least what Coleman got on the open market, maybe even more. A big guy with 3 cups like that. I don't think. I think Seattle didn't trade Giordano because you're right. They do want a 1st-round pick for Giordano, and it's a seller's market right now. They'll probably get it. There's probably a team out there that'll give a 1st for Giordano. Who will that be? I don't know if I'm Toronto. You don't need a left defenseman. Just maybe the Boston Bruins might. I don't think Florida wants to add any more. They don't have any more to add. I don't know. I'm not sure the market's strong enough for them to get a 1st. They might want a 1st, but the only one I could think that might be able to, possibly Boston, but I'm pretty sure Boston doesn't want to give up any of their 1st. Maybe they could give up Derek Forbert. I don't know if he would go to Seattle. He's got a 10-team no trade list, so they could give them back Forbert in a 1st. I mean, Seattle really doesn't need another defenseman like that, but he's somebody to fill a role right now. Giordano, yeah. I think the Rangers would be stupid to give up a first for Giordano right now. I think Boston would be too, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. I don't know. I don't think they're going to get a first for Giordano. Maybe a second plus, but I don't think they're getting a first for Giordano. Lindholm is the next big one, and I'm going to do a Lindholm trade video right after this, right after I'm done doing this with you guys. I'm going to do it. I'll have it out this weekend. I got it all set up with all the teams that I think could be interested, but he's going to, I mean, when you look at what Chicago got for Hagel, I mean, Lindholm, who knows what he's going to get. Like, it's getting... Yeah, I have Jake Middleton. I mean, I don't know. If you're going to give up a first, I'm not a Jake Middleton fan, so if he gets traded, he gets traded. I really don't care. I really don't care. But, I mean, if he pulls a first or a second, if San Jose pulls that out of them, that's crazy. That's crazy talk right there. I have no idea what San Jose is doing. But I mean, there's so few guys available right now. I just wonder now, like Bertuzzi, Detroit apparently had Bertuzzi out there. If Hagel got 2 firsts and 2, average prospects, I suppose, like just basically third or fourth line, more fourth line guys. What the heck is Bertuzzi going to get? What the heck is Bertuzzi going to get? Like, give me a idea. Bertuzzi's young. I mean, eventually he won't have to worry about I would think anyways, that eventually Bertuzzi isn't going to have to worry about not being vaxxed. I think part of the reason why, they obviously are having trouble getting a contract for him. He maybe wants an incredible amount of money. I don't know. But at 27 years old, he's got 48 points. He's almost a point a game this year. If somebody's going to pony up at this deadline for Bertuzzi, and Hagel got 2 firsts, that package could be insane. I think I would have to trade him anyways. Like right now, if you're a team that's rebuilding and you got something of value, after seeing Hagel getting 2 firsts and one of them being the 2023 from Tampa Bay, I don't know. I'd be strongly considering trading my roster. If I'm Vancouver right now, to tell you the honest truth, Miller is on the block, man. Are you kidding me? They're not going anywhere. That loss against Detroit last night, to me, that just put the dagger in. I'm not saying that they won't make the playoffs, but who cares? If you're going to be a playoff team that's going to be successful, you cannot have an overlooked game like that. Now, they did get a lot of shots. Nedeljkovic did play really well, which is odd. It was a weird game for sure, but you gotta have that game. And now they're gonna go up against Calgary in a big matchup showdown there next game. And let me put it this way: if they don't win that game, everybody's on the frickin' block. Forget about it. And I even think, even if you do, like, who cares if you're going to make the playoffs this year? Honestly, who cares? Is your owner that strapped for money that you need like a round in the playoffs this year? because this team is far away from being a contender. I don't think Forsberg's going to get traded. I'm not sure. They're working on a contract, so. Hajin, why are they not trading Hertl and Meyer right now? Hertl for sure. Signing him to an 8-year deal when the market is this strong? My God, man. Holy crap. They could have got, if Hertl got 2 firsts for the Rangers, they could have got maybe Schneider, a first-round pick. God, who knows? Who knows? Kako. You probably could have got Kako, a first-round pick, Jones, maybe 2 firsts. Who knows? It's all wacko now. Now that Hagel got a 2003 first and a 2004 first, she's all gone unglued now. My gosh. You could have got one hell of a package from the Rangers for that, I would think. Fix the defense. If they could get Jones, Kako, he's hurt right now, but who cares? You don't need him, right? He's gonna be player ready to play when he comes back. So you're increasing the time of your rebuild by getting a player that's already ready to play. You get Jones, he's almost ready to play. A first-round pick, and why not trade Georgiev up? Maybe 2 firsts in Georgiev. If you can get that package, a 2023 first for Hertl, then do it, man. Kings and Nucks are talking about Garland. Well, you got to give up a first. There's no use even discussing it. Unless, it depends on what else you're asking. Look at the market out there right now, man. If Hagel is worth 2 firsts, 2 prospects, Garland is worth, he's got a higher contract, so that makes it a little more difficult. But I never even thought about that. Garland, for sure. Nobody's talking about Garland right now on the market. And nobody's talking about Vancouver. But honestly, if I'm Rutherford, I don't give a crap about making the playoffs this year. I really, really don't. I don't care. I don't care about making the playoffs this year. Especially now that Hagel got 2 firsts, I don't care about making the playoffs this year. That team's not doing anything in the playoffs. Yeah, Tyler Myers and OEL, Tucker Poolman if he comes back or whatever they got on defense there, that's going to get you anywhere in the playoffs this year? No. Sometimes as a general manager, you just got to take emotion aside, I think, and just look at your team in a realistic sense. That team isn't going past the first round this year. I'd be trading Garland. I'd be trading, if you can get a package somewhere similar to what, if you can get a package somewhere similar to Hagel for Garland or more, sheesh, yeah. 2,000. Now, if I'm Vancouver and people are calling me up, I want Hagel type package for Garland. So a 2022 or 2024 first and your 2023 first and a decent prospect. So LA's out right now. Now, if they want to give up some of their other guys, some of their other prospects that may be equal to that, that might not be a bad idea. I don't know if Velarde is ever going to be what Velarde is ever going to be. I'm probably off of Velarde now. At one time I would want to be, but I don't know. He's like Garland is sort of like Coleman. Those kind of guys get $5 million a year. I like him. He provides offense. He's a pain in the ass guy to play against. He's the kind of guy you want for a playoffs. Those kind of guys aren't going to come cheap. $5 million for 5 years. What, Pajot? Who else is making that kind of money? Let's look at some of the guys that just got that kind of money. Pajot, Coleman, he's in that Konechny mode, somewhere around there. He's not putting the best points he's put up in his career this year. But he had 39 points in 49 games in 2021. This year, he's going at about a 40-point, 20-goal pace. He's great defensively. He's a pain in the ass to play against. He can play all the way up and down your lineup. He's like Hagel. He's basically Hagel. Except he makes more money. So for that reason, he probably won't get as much because he makes the $5 million a year. Yeah, he might be good. It's been a while though. Like I said, he's getting Coleman type money, and he's a similar player to Coleman. If he was to go on the open market right now, he'd easily get that much money. And the thing is Vancouver doesn't really have to not take money back in that deal. They could get a player back in that deal. I did a Connor Garland trade video actually. One of the places I had him going to was Detroit. Bertuzzi, man. Maybe Vancouver looks at it a different way. Maybe Vancouver looks at it like not grabbing draft picks and stuff like that. But they trade Garland plus for Bertuzzi and take a 27-year-old guy. His father used to play in Vancouver. I don't know. It'd be funny having a Bertuzzi in Vancouver again. I don't know. But I don't think that was part of the deal when I did it, honestly. I'm sure LA was in that too. I think Boston was. There was a couple teams. Go check it out anyways. I had Garland being traded. But if they're trading Garland in Vancouver, then that would mean that probably Miller and they're doing that so they can sign Besser and Miller. I would think. They can keep Besser and Miller. I would think that they would be doing that with that in mind. Yeah, and it sounds like Giroux's going to Florida, which I did have when I did the Giroux video. Florida was on the list. I just thought it was kind of overkill to have him on that roster with the. I guess it depends on what goes back. Obviously, Tippett. I don't know if you guys heard Tippett for Florida isn't playing in the AHL right now. They're holding him back so he doesn't get injured. So the speculation is Tippett is part of that deal. Now, now that Hagel got what he got, now it's a little different because he's got term. Giroux in this situation could very well be a rental. So you could see them getting actually less for Giroux than Tampa Bay gave up for Hagel. because of contract, which is how voodoo the NHL has become now. The NHL has become so voodoo that way. It's really like I thought I had a pretty good read on what the return was going to be for some of these players. But I think if I'm Philadelphia, from what I understand, it's either Colorado or Florida. So they're going back and forth right now between Colorado and Florida to see who's going to give them the most. They're working the phones both ways. Now, Florida, the reason why they would be going for a guy like Giroux is they are a fairly young team. And Giroux does bring playoff experience. John Whitechell, you want to give up this year's first, next year's first, and a prospect for Garland. That's what you got to, looks like that's what you're looking at for a guy like Garland. Maybe it's a little different for Garland. See, it's weird because like Garland could get less than Hagel on the market. And people would be like, what the hell's going on? Well, it's because of leverage. Like I said, Chicago did not have to trade Hagel at all. He was perfect. They were perfectly fine keeping him. He's young. He's got term. He's cheap. They've loved him there. He's been fantastic for them. Everything. They did not have to get rid of Hagel at all. So that really created the leverage for them to go to turn down a lot of stuff. Like I'm just not, forget it. I'm not going to bother. I'm keeping them. Like I imagine there was general managers out there going, you want 2 firsts and 2 prospects? And they're like, yeah, we don't want to lose them. So if you don't want to give us that, then we'll just keep them then. That's fine. And finally, Tampa Bay, I guess, at the end of it all, realized they were out of, it might have been their only option to get better and said, okay, you know what, we'll give it up. You drive a hard bargain and we'll give it up. Oh, DeBrincat, Dylan, Stone, and Radish played with each other on the Erie Otters. There you go. So then that would, leaning towards keeping Dylan Strome, I guess. Yeah. Well, and now, I mean, they said they're doing a rebuild. So who else are you trading if you're doing a rebuild now? You got to figure DeHaan is on the block. And now with the market the way it is, you know, maybe you can keep Kane. They're getting so much value from a guy like Hagel. Then, you know, maybe they don't. I don't know. My live stream ended? What's going on? It doesn't show that there's any problem on my end here. I still got the stream going here. I still got the stream going. Still going? Oh, okay. No, it's fine. It's fine for me anyways. I might have to get rid of some stuff in my... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it would be glitching. I'm getting rid of some stuff in my background here now. Maybe that's it. Oh, wait a second. No, there's nothing there. Got rid of that. Is it better now? Okay, it's better now. Okay, well, let's hope it stays that way. But yeah, I mean, after seeing that, I don't know. I'm pretty tempted as a team that has players out of the, like, if I'm out of the playoffs right now after seeing that. Let's hope it stays. Yeah, Taze was traded for 2 seconds. Yeah, I know, that's insane. That I mean, yeah. The Islanders traded Taze for 2 seconds. What the heck is going on with my freaking stream? Audio input. It's ridiculous. What? I don't know what's going on. Can't take that out. I'll look that back up again. I guess if I'm gonna do it. Delete that. There. Is it working better now? Who's still in here? All right. Well, I'll just keep on going. I don't know what else to say. Where was I? All right. Yeah. If it's me, if I am going to be, if I'm a team out of the playoffs right now after seeing that Hagel deal, I'm really strongly considering. Putting players on the market. Let's look at some guys that are out. Like that's probably why like Paul for Buffalo or for. I think we're going to be so surprised what the return is on some of these players. Like if I'm the Islanders right now, I'm seriously looking at what I can get now. And you're right, like especially after giving up only 2. Just imagine how much Taves would have pulled in at this deadline if he was available. Holy crap. Like, do you really need Scott Mayfield? Like, really? You could probably pull 2 firsts for him right now. I mean, Josh Bailey might give you something, for the love of God. How long is his deal? 2024, $5 million, maybe not. Like I'm looking up and down my lineup right now. I'm looking up and down my lineup right now, going, what can I give? What can I give? After I saw that deal, I'm like, what? Okay, like Nashville, for instance. Okay, you're not going to be a contender this year. You know, maybe Cunnin, throw him out there, see what you can get for him. My gosh, you just never know right now. he can maybe fetch a lot, I suppose. Teams are going to have to ask themselves, though, is this the guy that we're going to roll with, really? Like, is Varlamov going to get you there? That's the thing. If somebody thinks that Varlamov is going to get you there, then I suppose you do that, I guess. But I don't personally think so. But you just never know. The market may end up being that good. The only people in the market right now would be Toronto, would be Toronto and Edmonton. Edmonton swears up and down they're not giving their first round pick. Toronto pretty much does too. I don't know. I think Toronto's just going to fly with Campbell. He's going to let him come back from his injury. Hopefully he's better off after his injury, and they're going to fly with Campbell. I really do think that's what they're going to do. I'm losing everybody here. My gosh. Eichel is out for tomorrow? Really? I didn't hear that. What happened? I didn't hear anything about that. Where did you hear that? Where did you hear that, Race Fan? And tell me if my stream's working too, Race Fan, because I'm losing everybody right now. Apparently my stream's glitching in and out. Puck to the wrist. Wow. That hurts. That could be Vegas' season right there. I can't believe they beat Florida last night. I am so pissed at Florida right now. They should beat Anaheim tonight, but I can't trust them to save. Like I'm mad. Like they're on the road. They are just absolutely useless. Yeah, well they got him in the lineup on cap friendly, but so he hasn't officially been taken out of the lineup. But if that's the case, I mean that could be their season right there. I don't know if they can withstand that. I don't know if they could withstand that. I don't know if they could withstand that that injury. I know they can't. There's no way. I mean, if he's out for a significant amount of time, they're screwed. Or if his wrist doesn't get better, they are absolutely screwed. It goes again. Maybe I should just start the stream all over again. Did it just go out on you again, Mark Brown? It just went out on you again. This is really pissing me off. It's like every 5 minutes the freaking thing goes out. And I don't know why. Is there an NDI source on maybe? No? Doesn't look like it. No. I gotta restart the stream. Because this is no good. I can't figure out why it's doing that. Like, can't for the life of me figure it out. I got no background stuff going on. Maybe I do. No, I got no background stuff going on. It goes like for a while, and then I notice it just. Maybe if I take my phone off, let me try. Maybe it has something to do with the interference with my phone, possibly. I'll take my phone off so I'm not using it to see the chat. I don't know why that would change anything, but it just might. Am I clicking while I'm talking, like right now? Is it going like, because I got excellent connection here, it says. Anyways, I'm getting lots of views. Starting goaltenders. Francouz in for Colorado tonight. Why? It's very glitchy. Okay, you know what? I'm going to shut her down. I'm going to try to restart it, I guess, for a little bit. I'm only going to be on for another half an hour. I got to do my Lindholm video. But I'm going to try to shut it down. I'm going to end it and start it again and see what